Group B rally car for the road. Count me in, please. Welcome to Lot 76 Cars. My name's Simon, and today we're at the Historics auction at the Farnborough Exhibition Centre. Are we going to have a blockbuster sale, or will it be another damp squib? We've got some absolutely excellent cars here to show you. So without further ado, let's go and do that, shall we? So lot number 213 is guided at a not inconsiderable 175 to 190. Well, white's an Alfa Romeo Giulia Super GTR-A by Alfaholics. Now, the reason it's so expensive, it's had all the Alfaholics mods, engine mods, chassis mods. The interior is absolutely beautiful. Now, just to put it in context, the build cost of one of these would be £400,000 plus. Now, the interior, as you would expect, it's been retrimmed but done sympathetically. It is absolutely beautiful in here, immaculate. Those leather seats can't be the standard seats. Alfaholics fans tell me what they're out of. Are they out of another Alfa and retrimmed? But I tell you what, they look pretty good. It's got all the flexibility of having a four-door car there. It will be interesting testing the market because I've seldom seen these Alfaholics cars come to market and try to understand what the used values of these cars are. But we're going to have the chance with this on, aren't we? So let's have a look, shall we? Now this one looks a bit of a tad optimistic. Lot number 224. It's a barn find Porsche 912. So the four-cylinder car, the one that was sold mainly in the States as an entry level between what was the top of the 356 and the 911, it's guided at 27 to 35,000 pounds. Now, I think it is what's commonly called the long wheelbase car. There's a bit more length in the chassis here. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. The problem is with this car is that sort of money you're going to have to spend at least the same again, minimum, putting the car straight. Would you not just be better buying yourself an already restored Porsche 912? I'm struggling with that one. To me, it doesn't seem like great value. What do you think? Is that a project you take on? Another familiar face is lot number 226. Now, I must try and find out how much it got to last time. It is a rare right-hand drive, Rudd speed converted Alfa Romeo 2600 by Touring. Now, it's now estimated at 52 to 65,000 pounds. I have a feeling it was a bit more than that before. Still for sale, the opportunity to take this one home with you after the sale. The Rudd speed connection, eminently usable as a right-hand drive car. What will it make? Well, let's take a look, shall we? And I'll try and put on screen somewhere what price it got to last time we saw it come to auction, I think at the back end of last year. Let's do that, shall we? I feel this V8 Volante is a bit of an old friend. Do you remember this one from the auction at Bonham's down at Goodwood, what, a month ago, something like that? Now, the car there was maybe estimated, I think right the way, 100 to 120 or something like that. In the end, it made £86,000 and it wasn't accepted. The bid wasn't successful. But guess what? It's back again now at Historics. It's guided at 80 to 100,000 pounds still. Did it get better in the interim? I don't know. You'll probably remember for that video, although the car looks pretty good under lights, mostly, there are some areas of detail on the paint where there is overspray, and certainly I did have some concerns about the quality of it for that sort of money. But you know what? I'm always willing to be proved wrong. £86,000 last time out. Was it the right decision not to take that bid and sell the car? Well, let's see what it makes, shall we? Lot number 227 is an AC Aceca. Yes, you heard that right. Based on the Ace, which was the Roadster. The Ace then went on to spawn the Aceca like this, and also the Cobra with Carroll Shelby's help. Now, this one is, to be fair, it's a Bristol. guided at 75 to 85,000 pounds. It's in fantastic order. Now the AC Acecas, the first cars had the pretty asthmatic pre-war AC engine, I think 75 horsepower. This has got the Bristol engine, which is I think a 6-cylinder straight six, and built by Bristol to a design, an original design by BMW, I think used on the 328 pre-war. It is in fabulous order inside, and I do not begrudge anybody putting that sort of reserve price on it. The paint is pretty flawless, the paint, by the look of it. I'm sure it could always be improved. There's no pitting on the chrome work looks reasonably good. Nothing a good detail wouldn't sort out. Honestly, I think that one might do well. Let's see if the buyers agree with me, shall we? So lot 235 is an eminently usable V10 engined BMW M5 Touring E61, I think is the correct designation. The E60 was a saloon. Now these have got a drink problem. They drink more than Oliver Reed. Kids, ask your parents about that one. It's guided at 20 to 25,000 pounds, again from a car collection, just 90,000 miles and one of only 222 UK examples. Now the one thing I would say about this one is that the fuel consumption is horrific. Chris Harris has got one. It's got the sequential manual gearbox, which is not necessarily quite as bad as people make out. Will it do all the money? I don't know. You can still find these about. The engines are incredibly expensive if they do go wrong. Rod bearings and things like this. But will somebody be brave enough to take the plunge with this one? Let's see. So this is a CSA, which is denoting the automatic, rather than the lightweight CSL. But because of that, this beautiful salon gold car is about half the price. Now, quite honestly, I'm struggling to see why I would pay crazy money, probably twice this. Now, this one is guided at 28 to 34,000 pounds. It comes direct from a car collector. It's been very well preserved. I think Munich Legends, the BMW repairers have maintained the car. There are some areas where it does need some attention. It needs those rubbers on the windows. I guess water can get in there. If you can still get the parts for those. The car is open. I love the etching on the windows. That will be the original registration, cherished registration. That beautiful tray. I think this will be a far better way of spending your money. You can buy two of these for one CSL to save a few kilos and a few handling tweaks, but this looks really, really lovely. I love the colour, and quite honestly, I think that could be one of my standout cars from today. Certainly drink that in. Well, will the bidders agree that this is a cut price CSL alternative? Let's see, shall we? So whereas the normal Z3M was criticised for its handling, perhaps not being the best in class at the time, actually if you read the period road test, the Z3M like this one is a different story. If you can get over the so-called clown shoe styling, so this 1999 car is a 46,000 mile example, again from a private collection, and it's guided at 33 to 38,000 pounds, but it's just got 46,000 miles on, and it's one of 14 actually supplied in Boston Green. And you know what, I actually quite like that. Of course, there is luggage space in the back there. If you just try and take you into the back to have a quick look, but no seats. Is this the perfect Grand Tourer? Well, it's the perfect colour for me. What will it make? I don't know, but let's see, shall we? Lot number 242 is also a special car. It's an E92 BMW, but it's an Alpina GT3. Now, I've driven one of these. I've been very lucky enough to do that as a video on the channel, and I believe they made something less than 100 of these. Certainly not many of these came to the UK. They're pretty special cars. Now, this particular car also comes from the same collection as many of the BMWs, one of 4 in right-hand drive and guided at 52 to 59,000 pounds. That sounds like a relatively low estimate for something so special. Now, it's Windows still drop as they should do. It's got that Alpina stripe here, and I can attest to the fact these are an incredible drive, very comfortable bucket seats. It looks in pretty good condition here, as you would expect of a BMW of that age. I think potentially to somebody who is an Alpina fan, they definitely will pay all the money for this one. But again, it's not my opinion that counts. Let's see, shall we? So two very rare Fords to start with. An RS200, the ill-fated cancelled Group B rally car, lot number 2521 of 57 right-hand drive UK examples. They have sold for very increasing amounts over the last few years. This particular car is guided at 220 to 250,000 pounds, which to some people might look like value for money for something so rare. Let's see what they make of this particular car, shall we? So some people say the 190 SL is a cut price gullwing. It's got certainly a lot of the styling features of a gullwing, hasn't it? This particular example is estimated at 70 to 90,000 pounds. It's fully restored. They obviously reset the odometer. It's got 4,600 miles on. Matching numbers car, twin Webers. I mean, actually, they've done a good job. It looks like a proper restoration. Had the screens out there rather than painted around. Interior looks good, obviously left-hand drive. Quite honestly, it looks pretty good. It even comes with a hard top there as well. Oh, that's handy, isn't it? Well, there you go. Will that be considered value for money at that sort of price? So lot number 255 is this rather delightful 57 Porsche 356A Super Speedster, fully restored in 2017, full documented history from new, with a guide price of 178 to 250,000 pounds. Now you're going to find that any imperfections in the paint are going to be picked up under these very bright lights in the display where it is, but they're not. Okay, it's a left-hand drive car. Interior looks pretty good condition there. Love that period radio. I'm not quite sure what that's going to pick up on there these days, but you can update these things, of course. Is it going to make 178 grand plus? Well, let's see. I'm not sure. That's quite a wedge of money. You could almost buy a mini car collection for that, couldn't you? Some of the cars here. Let's see. I seem to think we might have seen lot number 257 before. They had a few cars that struggled to sell in the previous sale, coming the weekend after the Iran war broke out. This one's guided at 170 to 200,000 pounds. And this DB6 is a 1967, but it's been privately owned for 37 years. It does look remarkable inside, but I seem to think these cars were £400,000 plus. Is this the new level for this car? I don't know. Will it sell this time, more importantly? Well, we'll have to see, won't we? It's a lovely colour though, isn't it? So we've all seen some pretty crazy values on RS1800s. Is this one going to buck the trend? Lot number 258 is an RS1800. Yes, they built 109 of them with the belt drive, BDA belt drive A type engine. If I've got that wrong, stick it in the comments. This one is a custom model, which means I believe some trim differences, maybe a glove box lid or something like that. Apparently the interior is as it left the factory. And you're right, you see a blanking plate where the radio probably should go. There is no radio, the only assures us, has ever been fitted in the car. So you're going to have to get on with your passengers or think of some other way to hear your tunes. Now this particular car, again in comparison to some of the other rare Fords, it's guided at 195 to 235,000 pounds. That is a lot of money for a Mark II Escort. But you know what? They have been making these sort of values. Let's see whether the Ford fever continues today. So for less money than probably many collectible Fords these days is this rather beautiful 65 S3 Continental Coupe of the Bentley variety. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? Now, it's estimated at 70 to 80,000 pounds, and quite honestly, It's only got 12,500 miles on the clock, and the story behind this one, it was owned by Lucy Dahl, yes, daughter of Roald Dahl, the author. So built by the coach builder H.J. Mulliner Park Ward, when they could build the body of your choice on a separate chassis. What sort of money is it worth? It does deserve to do well. Shall we just have a quick peek inside? I think the paintwork looks honest, not over shiny, to tell you the truth. It's a left-hand drive car. I'm not sure the connection on that will left-hand drive, but if you could accommodate that, you would have quite a usable, and in my opinion, quite an elegant, understated, not flashy vehicle to smoke around in. Well, let's see. I don't decide the values, I just report them. So lot number 264 is, I think, a Jensen-built. It's got the cow horn bumpers, Jensen-built P1800S from 1964. Now, in actual fact, it's estimated at a not inconsiderable 55 to 65,000 pounds, which for one of these days is not unusual. But the story behind the car is fabulous. So, in actual fact, it's had a nut and bolt restoration. What do you think that cost? Well, let's have a look, see whether you think you can guess. So this, it was first registered in 64, purchased by the owner in 2016 for his daughter's birthday, and then he handed it over to one of the country's leading restorers, Adam Redding in Buckinghamshire, not heard of them before. It's got a manual with overdrive gearbox. Now, budget does get a bit out of hand, even for this guy. Do you know what he spent? He spent £75,000 on this car. Now, it could be yours for £55,000 to £65,000, quite possibly. What do you think it'll make today? It is a beautiful colour, isn't it? We'll just have a look. It's got a Webasto roof there. And the interior's been very well trimmed. Clearly not original, but it's been done very well. What's it going to make? Put your answer in the comments. Are you surprised? Let's put it on the screen now, shall we? Lot number 266 proves that, as always, there are exceptions to the rule. So R107 values are all over the place, but this 300 SL, so the 6-cylinder car, is guided at 65 to 75,000 pounds. Well, why? It's a time warp example with less than 3,000 miles on the clock. It even smells like new. The original Blaupunkt radio in there, you can see the MB text interior, hard tops on a stand behind it. It is a supercar. I would want to use it, to be honest with you. I really would. There's the hard top. So the full set, ready for summer. However, do you see that as a 60 to 75,000 pound car? I'm not sure, actually. Let's see, shall we? You're just drawn to some cars sometimes, and this 1963 Triumph TR4 absolutely was calling me, because I think that colour is beautiful. So nice to see these in a metallic. Metallic colours in that period were so rare, and many of them didn't survive. I'm sure it's been painted. It's got the 2.1 litre engine. It's only got about 100 horsepower, but it's only estimated at 18 to 24,000 pounds. Now that, to me, doesn't seem an awful lot of money. It was originally sent to the US. It's had a right-hand drive conversion when it came back, but I wouldn't be too bothered about that. I think actually that looks like value. What do you think? Lot 279, yes, it's an award-winning Ford Cortina Mk1, but it's one of the particularly rare base spec cars, fleet spec in actual fact. Only about 34 of these are known to exist in the UK. It's only got 83,000 miles on. It is guided at 14 to 17,000 pounds, and it was originally owned by a British Forces headmaster out in, I think, Malaysia. He brought it back to the UK. It's got a really well-known and well-documented history. It is a beautiful looking car. The condition is pretty epic in there. We'll take a look inside as well, because we know it's open. Now, I think the original rubber mats are covered up possibly, but really basic spec in there, and they weren't that well spec'd anyway. Where the Ford Motor Company, not sure where that original plaque is in there. But this, you could absolutely take this car to a show and add to that collection of silverware at the front. What do you think? I like it. I like the fact it is just so basic. So lot number 280 looks like a relative bargain when you realise that its guide price of £24,000 to £28,000 does not reflect the cost of building it. And I'll tell you that in a second. It has installed, first of all, let me tell you, it's had installed a V8, a 5-litre V8. I think it may well have come from New Zealand, possibly. We'll try and go back and get it in shot. It's the double wheel version of the Transit. Not sure what all tracks may mean something to viewers in New Zealand, but in actual fact, the owner is originally registered in New Zealand. It came from the UK. It's in ermine white. It's a dual wheel one, and originally it was delivering post on the South Island in New Zealand. Now somebody has spent £90,000 restoring this. Why? I'm not quite sure. It certainly won't be worth anything like that today, but Transits are popular. Let's see how it does, shall we? Lot number 282 is a BMW 1802. No, your ears do not deceive you. The 1802, I can't find any evidence of this being offered in the UK. Maybe it was. Maybe it had some different torque characteristics. I think in terms of fuel economy, it was slightly better. Now, this particular car, of course, it's left-hand drive. You can see that. It's guided at £15,000 to £20,000, but it would make it a pretty unusual car to have in the UK. Certainly in a BMW show, wouldn't it, with a sea of 1602s and 2002s. What will the market make of it? Will it recognise that it's a relatively rare car over here? Let's see, shall we? Family owned since 1992 with a quite strong estimate of £15,000 to £20,000 is this Alfa Romeo GT3 from 1984. Got the absolutely gorgeous Busso engine in it. The one thing I would say, the paint, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up, but the paint, it definitely needs attention. Maybe even needs the screen out there at the front. There's a bit of underlying rot there around the screen and the sunroof as well. Oh, that's starting to let itself down a little bit, isn't it? I have to say, with that in mind, £15,000 to £20,000 to me, with the level of work that might need on the bodywork, might not look such great value. What do you think? Am I being a bit harsh? More importantly, let's see what the bidders think. It's fascinating to see how much some of these cars make, particularly when they're like this Porsche 959 Evocation, is that what they call it these days? It's based on a 66 Porsche. It's £45,000 to £55,000. It's been done reasonably well. You were talking probably, what, I don't know, £500,000 for the real thing, maybe more, actually. I'm not quite sure. Paintwork looks reasonably good. I mean, what you have to decide is whether, even at £45,000 to £55,000, does it represent good value? You've got the image. The track looks a bit narrow compared with the real thing, but I don't know. What do you think? Is that the sort of thing you would sink £35,000 to £45,000 in to have a bit of 959 magic? Do let me know. So lot number 294 is a 1967 Maserati Quattroporte. I think it's a Series 2 car. I think some of the cars had a single light treatment rather than a double light treatment. Styled by Frewer, and you can see it's a saloon. A 4.7 litre engine gave, wait for it, 158 mile/hour top speed in 1967. 59 years ago. That's incredible. Now, a not unreasonable £35,000 to £45,000 would buy you that car. And you know what? It starts to look like reasonable value for money. There's a couple of points. I think the car's open. We can have up the dashboard. A bit of drama going on at the end of the dashboard, but I'm sure that would repair. Inside, looks all present and correct. A manual car, which again adds to the attraction. I think it may have been one of Maserati's first four doors. I may stand corrected on that one, so if you know better, tell me. Love those toggle switches in there. It could well make all the money. Is it a beautiful design? I'm not sure whether you call it beautiful or not, but it's certainly an impressive car. and a very practical four-seater, and in that sort of condition, it may well find a home at the auction. Let's see, shall we? The German cars dominate here today, and lot number 295 is quite an interesting example of a 1966 230 SL Pagoda. It is in a period colour, it's a left-hand drive car. It's guided at a reasonable £37,000 to £44,000. The paintwork does need some attention in places, although I can't see necessarily any obvious evidence of rot there, but it's a cheap way into ownership, relatively cheap way into ownership of one of these. It's been in the same owner's hands for 37 years, which I always find is a positive. So lot number 296 is a Borgward Isabella TS. Now, the numbers probably don't mean much today, but back in the day it had 75 horsepower. It was a proper sporting saloon or executive saloon. Borgward were snapping at the heels of BMW, and unfortunately, due to cash flow issues, they went out of business. I think it was the state of Bremen wouldn't intervene and lend them the money, but they could have survived. There could have been another BMW. The cars are very rare. Now, the coupes are a bit more desirable and worth a bit more in terms of values, but you know what? I saw this one in the catalogue and I absolutely adore it. Oh, it is open as well. So if you want to look inside, I think the inside looks pretty original in there. Love that strip speedo. What's that, Bakelite steering wheel. Column gear change, Isabella there on the dash in the middle. You know what, there is a lot to like about that one. I like it because it's rare. Apparently you can still get parts for them. Parts availability in Germany is pretty good. So buy the car, get over to Germany, fill your boot with spares and your motoring. What will they make of that one? Let's see, shall we? I absolutely adore it. So I hope you've enjoyed the historics auction at Farnborough here today and some of the vehicles we've managed to include in the video. Please like, share and subscribe, and please feel free to share the video, hype the video so it gets out to a wider audience. And once again, as always, thanks for watching.